Welcome back to TIP TV and welcome to our latest corporate interview, which is with the CFO of Defenx, Philipp Prince. How are you today, Philipp?
Good, thank you.
Right, company which is new to me, which is very, very rare because I know everything there is about small companies everywhere in the world. But could you just explain to the viewers exactly what you do?
Sure, we listed on AIM last December. We are a security software provider, initially focused on antivirus and privacy protection to individuals, families and SMEs. And then in August, post the period end reported on this morning, we acquired an interesting business in Rome, which brings us cloud backup and sync facilities to our customers.
Right, and the market of this security, this type of internet, well, I suppose it's mobile and PC security. Is it growing? Is it staying the same? Is it shrinking? What's the outlook there?
It's growing very significantly, and the biggest segment of growth is mobile. People are beginning to realize that a smartphone, whether it's an Apple or a Samsung, is really a supercomputer in your hand. It's always connected, and it's very vulnerable, and therefore protection is needed. Everybody really has protection on a PC, but we're only beginning to realize that we need protection on mobile devices, and that's where we focus.
So this is the new frontier, really?
Indeed.
And but in terms of that, isn't it also the case that many people sort of want to trust to luck?
I think that has been the case, but if you take, for example, ransomware, which is the new emerging threat, where you suddenly find your computer or your device has been locked unless you pay a Bitcoin, people are beginning to realize that actually trusting to luck is going to lose you all your data. So bit by bit, we call it year zero last year, you need to actually protect yourself.
Right, so how are you, what's your strategy in getting into this market or flourishing in this market, and how are you better than the competition?
Well, it's a classic two-pronged strategy. On the one hand, it's making sure that we have products which are relevant to the market, and as I said, individuals and small and medium businesses, and in particular families. Families are very concerned about the security of their children's browsing and their data, more so perhaps than hacking and the loss of financial data. So we make sure we have products which address those three markets. And then number two, we go to market slightly differently. We call it B2B2C. So we go through the channel, through distributors, through OEMs, but we work very cooperatively with them, so that it's worth their while selling us this year, next year, and the year after. So we're building up a trusted platform of channel partners who will distribute our products across the world.
Right, and on that basis, they'll probably be, they'd have the skills to explain to people why they need this and what the latest thing is and what is appropriate to them. Because that's the other thing. The end user, whether it's B2B or B2C, in many cases, I mean, they're old or they don't really know how it works, or there's various reasons for not getting your products, which are not really the fault necessarily of the customer.
You're absolutely right. I mean, our strategy is designed to get through the channel to people who already may be interested, to get through the channel to people who already are being sold something else to. So take a telco, selling a monthly subscription with a telephone, throw in, on a bundle basis, the security software. So there's an incremental revenue for the telco, there's some revenue for us, and it gets us distribution. We don't have to offer freemium software. We offer 1 month only. Many of the competition offer 6 months, 12 months, and have trouble upselling to get a payment. So we believe our model gets us to people who are prepared to pay. And indeed, the partners we choose are those who are already selling something in the space, so mobile software or security software.
Right, so you've really come to market quite recently. How's the experience been for you, and how have you built on that foundation?
Well, my background was previously working for AIM companies, so I know quite a lot about AIM. But having switched side to the corporate side, of course, AIM is difficult. Small cap life is difficult.
The Wild West.
Indeed, you need to under-promise and over-deliver. It's a cliche, but you really need to do that. So we were very pleasantly pleased that when we released our 2015 results in April, there was good following and was a good support in the share price because people saw some good performance. So what we're now trying to do is release the interims, which are only halfway through the year, to show that we have that momentum, and then that market forecasts will be achieved this year. And so when the results come out and are seen, that really will give some support to the company.
Just on you are the CFO. How do you determine margins and the price and pricing power and all those things? Because it seems to be a race to the bottom as far as I can see.
There is an element to that. The beauty of software is that the marginal cost of each new sale is essentially zero. So within reason, we can be flexible whilst we're going for the land grab, whilst we're trying to generate volumes. Having said that, The rationale with our channel partners is to say, let's have a multi-year relationship. So we will white label, we will integrate with their back end, we will be helpful to help them generate revenue. And in return, we expect them not to squeeze us unduly on margin. Our recent acquisition of Memopal in Rome does have some cost of sales, and so therefore we need to be a little bit more careful. But there are good price points with the competition that we can use as a benchmark, and a modest discount to them enables us to get to the front of the table and sell.
Right, and as far as drivers going forward, you've done, let's say you've done well so far. What's the next thing to look forward to?
Well, we've been announcing this year the addition of new channel partners. So generally experts in the digital space across Europe. So they sell to individuals, families, and small and medium businesses. So we've more than doubled the number of channel partners. So that automatically gives us much greater access to the channel across Mediterranean Europe, the Middle East, and into Africa. So consolidating on that and building those relationships is the priority. We have a range of additional products coming out shortly, and we have a strong pipeline of new products. So it's really those two sides which ensure that our channel partners will want to continue selling what we can offer them.
Have you chosen those geographies deliberately as being the best for your product? And we're not going to Silicon Valley?
No, to an extent, you're right. We avoid the US head on because it's a very competitive market and it's very B2C focused. It's established B2C model. Our founder is Italian. He started the business in southern Switzerland, so that was where his locus was, into the Mediterranean and the Middle East. But we really want to try to find the secondary markets which have been less penetrated, less actively targeted by the big guys. So to try and find the lower hanging fruit, and it's working well so far.
Well, we'll see how that goes. Philipp Prince, CFO at Defenx, thank you very much for coming in today.
Thank you.
We'll be back after the break.